Hi guys, next we have to see the comparison between the Struts 1.2 and 2.0. There are several versions we are having for the Struts, like Struts 1.0, then 1.1 came, then 1.2 came, right? And now we are having a Struts 2.0. So if we talk about the major differences we are having here, like the version which has come, like I just say here 1.0 and then 1.1 came, then 1.2. So Struts 1.2 consider here. Now this is my Struts 1.2 here. Now if we talk about the Struts 2.0, in a Struts 1.2 we were having one here. The approach was the MVC model view controller, right? It was using another design pattern, that is the front controller design pattern, okay. But here, okay, MVC is there, but apart from the MVC we are having another design pattern, that is the interceptor, also interceptor design pattern, okay. So now Struts 2.0, what is the here, like it Struts 1.2, it is a combination of, I can say, Struts 1.2 and Wavework. There's another framework we are having, that is a Wavework, and this Wavework is developed by the Symfony, okay. Now both has been merged and they have got a new design pattern, okay. They have implemented the filters and all, and they have made a Struts 2.0. So we'll have a closer difference and architecture of these two versions. But in the whole session, I will talking about the Struts 2, because this model is completely uh, based on the Struts 2 only. But at this level only, I will telling you what is the Struts 1.2 and what are the things has come to the Struts 2.0. Okay. So before understanding that Struts or difference, let us understand that first where Struts fit. I just explained the session first, but look at this detail graphics for that. Struts application are hosted by a web container and can make use of services provided by the container, like handling requests via the HTTP or HTTPS protocol. This frees developers up to focus on building application that solve a business problem. So it always talk about the just web container. It never talk about the how this guy will work, how this guy will be accessed, right? Like the business logic problem. So here your Struts framework. Look at here. This is your Struts framework. This fit in your web tier only, right? We are having Sublet, JSP. These guys are there in the Struts, right? So it never must talk about the how the business data will be handled. You can use normal JDBC and all for interacting with the database, okay. But there's no more explanation on that part. Only how the data flow will happen, that is take care only. Look at this Struts 1.2 architecture here. What it is saying that whenever any request come from the browser, okay, it is coming to the action sublet. So this action sublet is what? Is a front controller. Okay, whenever request come, it will come to here only. Any kind of request from the whole world, it will come to here only. Okay, where action sublet. This action sublet will take the help of the request processor. Now request processor will decide which action has to take place, which action has to take place. Okay, so as per action, some processing will happen, and then some of the view will be generated. Okay, so if some action, okay, this JSP page, if this action, this JSP page, it is like having mapping somewhere. Where is this mapping available? This mapping is available in a struts.config.xml. This is my deployment descriptor file, web.xml. As we know, in the web application, we have to mention this web.xml file, where we are having one sublet declaration only. That sublet name is the, I can say, sublet class, the action sublet only. And the URL pattern is, let us say, star. Star means if any kind of URL, that will go to the action sublet only. Okay. Now action sublet will in turn call to the request processor. Request processor will interact with the action, and then further some view will be generated as per the action. Okay. If result is something like we are having some error or something, success, failure, input, if this kind of action, that corresponding HTML or JSP page will be generated. Okay, we are having several properties file also. That properties file will help you to render the page in different language. Let us say you want to, or some of the guys are from USA. Okay, for US, okay, this English page will be rendered. I mean, it is having some key value pair descriptions, and this page, JSP pages are looking for the key, okay, and getting the value and rendering. Same thing, I'm making a different page for German. So if this guy is a German guy, okay, what will happen? This page, the JSP page, will use this file. Here also we are having key value pair. Okay, so this guy will look for the key and get the value and render that particular value to the page. Okay, so this is the architecture. If this guy want to interact with the database, okay, they can take the help of Java beans, right? They can take the help of some of the other technology, and this guy will further interact with the database. But this struts never talk how this guy will handle it, never talk about that. You can use some of the technology, existing technology in that, and you can interact with the database. Okay, now look at this architecture. If you are having some struts 1.2, so you are just making some of the package, you can keep some action classes here. Okay, and in the babe root we are having the folder, different folders we are having. This is the like babe inf, where we are having babe.xml, and this is my struts config.xml, and there are a number of JSP page you can make here. This is my first JSP page. Okay, and this web.xml will have a description that sublet is my action sublet. Okay, and that's the front controller in the struts 1.2. But if we talk about the struts 2, see here, the struts 2 architecture is very simple. See the high level of overview of request processing. It is just saying that, oh, if someone is requesting, just intercept it, and then just intercept the request, call the action, and then generate the result, come to here. So we are having number of actions, we are having number of results. For this action, this result. For this action, this result. Okay, I mean, suppose I have action, this result. I have action, okay, this result. I have action, this result. It is like that. Where we write, there are some mapping we are having for this also. There is a one struts.xml file. There it was the struts config. Here I have a struts.xml, which will have the mapping. An interceptor, as I said, Struts 2.0 or Struts 2 using the interceptor design pattern here, apart from the MVC. Okay. See the detail graphics or architecture of a Struts 2 now. You can look here. So it is saying that whenever any request come, that request will go to the action mapper. I mean, it will have an interaction with the filter dispatcher. So there's one filter dispatcher we are having. Instead of action sublet, here we are having a filter dispatcher which will take your request and do some processing. Okay, so it will just perform some of the processing on the your request, and then it will also interact with the struts.xml, the configuration file which I told. It is having all mapping, and this guy will tell that, oh, this action, this result. So in turn, it will do interception on that request, and it will perform the action, that particular action, and then that action will call that particular results, and that result will again intercepted by the interceptor, and then it will send back to the client here. The result can be, or view can be generated either in JSP or FreeMaker or Velocity. There is a number of technology we are having for developing the result. What about this action? This action is just a poso class. Just a poso class. Okay. But you need not to worry whole things. You have to just take care this guy. So you have to always keep doing mapping in the struts.xml. You have to keep developing some poso class, some of the action class. You have to keep developing some of the JSP pages. So these are the three jobs only you have to do in the struts: mapping, JSP page, and poso class. Okay. Filter dispatcher is, it is already there in the org Apache package, so you need not to worry. These are the sublet filters, struts core, and interceptor. You need not to worry about all this whole world. You just understand. You have to take care of the three things only: struts.xml, action classes, and the JSP pages result. Okay. Now you can see the hierarchy we are having. So let us say if I make some hello world struts application, this is my action class in a package. Okay, these are the libraries we are having, I mean jar file which you need to keep it there. Okay, this is my babe.xml deployment descriptor, some of the JSP pages, and here this is my configuration file, that is the struts.xml, right? You can make some logging properties file for the logging purpose. Okay, these are the minimum jar file required for struts 2, struts 2.0 jar files. Okay, it's very easy. It's like just developing the web application. So you have to take care, one, you have to take care, you need not to do anything with the babe.xml. If in some cases you may require, but generally we don't do. And you have to take care this guy. So this is my first job and second, and here it is a 3. So these are the only 3 things you have to develop. Okay, now you can see the comparison here, struts 1 and struts 2, that in a struts 1 we are having action, here also we are having action. There we are having action form. So separate action form was there, but here action and pojo class is same working as a action or action form. So there it was having action forward, now it is a result here. Okay. There it was a struts config, here I have a struts.xml. There it was the action sublet, my front controller. Now I have a filter, dispatcher, interceptor. So request processor, there it was request processor. Here we are having interceptor. Okay. Now there was a validation.xml file. Here if you want to validate your form, let us say your action is xyz. So your validation will be the xyz hyphen validation.xml. Validation.xml. Okay. These are the things. So these are the major changes. A lot of things has been cut it here in the struts 2, and it is easy to develop. So that's all about the comparison of a struts 1.2 and 2.0. So next we have to understand the features of struts 2.0 in next session. That's all.